I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
What the hell's going on out here?
Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast, Volume 171, spinoff of the web series The Two Dicks, found on YouTube. I'm Al Romas. I'm in Tampa today. I am home. That's Al Ducharme on a ship, docked, Nassau, Bahamas. How are you today, Alfredo?
I'm okay, man. Did you move into a library? Because you have bookshelves behind you.
This is my study. I'm in my study right now. I have many leather books. I'm trying to wake up, man. I got off the ship yesterday in Fort Lauderdale, rented a car, drove to Port Charlotte, did a show, drove the rental to the airport in Tampa, dropped it, took an Uber home, got home. It was a 3-bed day. Have you had one of those before? I slept in 3 different beds in one day. I have, but they were all sisters. But here's the deal. The small house. Thank you very much. Went blue. Why didn't you keep that rental car overnight? Was it easier to do it that way? I didn't want to wake up.
Rental?
I needed it back by 7:30 in the morning, and I didn't want to get up this morning at 7 a.m. and take a rental back. So it was easier for me to drop it off last night at the airport and then get the Uber home instead of, doing it in the morning. I wanted to sleep in a little bit.
I see.
And, but yeah, have you done one of those where 3 beds I was sleeping in one day? Because I used the hotel as a nap in the afternoon.
Yes.
Nap. You know what I mean?
Right. I've done something like that. You wake up in one place.
Not something like that. I'm asking you, have you done it?
Take a nap.
I'm asking you, have you had a day with 3 beds? Not something like that.
I've had a day with 3 beds.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to know. You're like, I don't know.
Maybe elaborate on it. It's a podcast. I thought I'd throw in a little.
You throw in anything you want.
Come up a little gem. Yeah, I didn't get the chance.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
you derailed me. I don't know if it was going to be a gem, but I wanted the gem attempt.
I've known you a long time, and I had to derail you. I knew there was no gem coming, sir. I saw the face. I saw the wheels working. I go, I better derail this motherfucker. There's no gems. Gems are not going to be found.
It was a runaway train. Runaway train. Never
yeah, that song stinks. Ugh.
Yeah,
is that Bon Jovi? Was that Bon Jovi?
It may have been.
They are. You talk about an overrated band. Really, they had a couple songs in the 80s, right? But
yeah,
for where they are with the money and the fame, they are overrated. That is a New Jersey.
Wasn't my thing. I mean,
with a couple of hits and a guy with a haircut.
There's a guy with enough fan base to keep him polarized into this level of fame. You got to give him credit for that.
I do.
Alone.
I do. That's
breaking through, you give anybody credit.
Right.
And he had staying power. That's what I don't understand.
I don't either.
Bon Jovi, staying power.
You know what
and
it is,
though? Of course,
though?
when he was playing, I'm going to continue.
When he was performing, what it is.
When he was performing for free live in Central Park, I did not attend, but I lived on the Upper West Side, so I'm walking down and I'm hearing him play his music.
Yeah,
that's 25 years old, and it was kind of cool to hear it, saying, "Oh, wow, that guy, he made it." But I never purchased any of his songs because they played all the time.
Because you're a
hear
male,
him for free.
You're a male heterosexual. That's why you didn't purchase any of his music. It's broads, women.
He has
women loved him.
Of fans, mostly women.
I know they loved him, and the older they get, they still love him, and it's kept him, current in a sense for them. Not current. Nobody under 30 knows who he is. But like, if you go talk to your hairdresser or whoever, your wife's friends, they love this guy, and when he tours, they go see him. They're always like, we're going to go see Bon Jovi. And it's like, are you kidding? His audience, that's who it is. It's 50-year-old women, which, good for him. He's still got an audience. But those songs were never, that is just junk. You know what I mean? And people would go, Springsteen and Bon Jovi. And you go, what?
Can't put them in the same category.
What are you doing? You can't equate these two, So
who was
anyway.
the famous rocker? Who was the famous rocker that was in the studio and was recording like his first? And he said, that kid stinks. And then like 5 years later, Bon Jovi broke through. And that's one of the stories, but I don't remember who it was. I don't think it was Springsteen, but it was somebody.
I don't know. I know his uncle or his father or somebody was like an engineer at one of the big studios in New York. He was Bon Giovanni. He was an engineer, so he had the in already. He wasn't just a lucky guy from a bar scene and made it. He had an in. He had
free studio time, is what you're saying.
Yeah, the uncle.
No, but he was dedicated.
Helped him. Yeah, I don't say any of that.
John Bon Jovi was dedicated.
I give him
credit. He put the work in. He struck a chord.
But it's not very good.
As you and I know, it's not my cup of tea. Let's just say that. And again, there's one or two songs that will pop through, and I'm like, oh, that's Bon Jovi. But
a lot of hair. The haircut was a big part of the success. Let's be honest. Without the haircut, I don't know. Does MTV really jump all over Bon Jovi without that haircut and the look? Kind of Johnny Bravo-ish, you know what I mean? Remember Johnny Bravo? Yeah, there's a little bit of that. He fit the jacket. The jacket fit well. The jacket. On Bon Jovi.
All right, you're the next star. They did that on
it was time.
The Brady Bunch, by the way.
That's what I'm saying. That was Johnny Bravo. Very good, sir.
Oh, okay.
That was the ref.
Sorry, you're talking about Greg. That was Greg.
That was the reference. Yeah, they wanted to make him Johnny Bravo.
Sorry.
Yeah, I thought you were following me. Then you weren't following me.
I was. It was the same story as well.
Right.
Because they made a movie. They made a movie like that too. Same storyline.
Gotcha.
The jacket fit, man.
Speaking
Cinderella,
of,
put the shoe on. Put the slipper on, Cindy.
I don't know I don't know what that means, but
I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know. Glass slipper. I don't.
Hey, guess who I saw last
Let me ask you a question. Let's go with the glass
you
slipper.
motherfucker. I want to tell you this.
I'm gonna let you tell me. She has a glass slipper. She's got two glass slippers, right?
Yeah. I don't
the time runs out. She goes back. It's on the stagecoach. It turns back into a fucking whatever it is, a donkey.
A pumpkin.
One of her glass slippers, she leaves behind. The other one disappears because the fantasy is over. Why does that glass slipper survive? And when the prince picks it up, why didn't that just like disappear? Huh? There's your fucking hole in that story.
I don't know, Al. I haven't heard that story since I was 3, so I may have forgotten a detail or two. I don't really think about Cinderella too often.
That's
so
because you were an early masturbator. That's why, and you got preoccupied.
What's early? What's early?
I don't know.
What age would be early? I mean,
I don't know. I'm going to ask Kelly what early is.
Anyway, can I talk about?
You just hid in your cup of coffee. Your bowl of coffee.
I did. My homemade cappuccino. Speaking of Kelly, she gave me a cappuccino machine, and this thing is.
I know that.
Fucking good.
Do you have a mug heater by any chance?
I do. I have a mug warmer too. Yeah, I do.
Is it on there now to keep that big mug?
No, you know what I use it when I'm foaming my milk. I'll take this that's full of espresso and I'll put it on the mug heater, and then that keeps it nice and hot. And I pour my froth milk on the cap, and then I take it, and then I just I've been drinking, so I don't really need it because I'm hitting it and keeping it warm. So
like an obscene phone call. This whole conversation, your whole dialogue, sounds.
Those
like
are lost now. I don't think anyone
from the 1970s.
Yeah, I don't think anyone under 50 remembers an obscene, because on a cell phone you don't get an obscene phone call because you have caller ID.
All the
women
that go to Bon Jovi,
they remember
concerts. They remember what an obscene phone call is.
Oh, they were weird too. Some guy would call your house and just go, just heavy breathing, and then the husband would be like, "Who was it?
He was jerking off."
Well, I'm just trying to paint a picture here. You couldn't tell you. The husband would go, "Honey, who was it?" She'd go, "Oh, it's just an obscene phone caller." And the husband would be like, "Oh, okay." He goes, "Shit." Like it was just normal 1975 day. You know what I mean? Like that was okay.
There's no cancel culture. It was just
No, it was an obscene phone caller.
there's no caller ID. There was none of that shit.
No,
it was just the phone would ring, and you pick it up. You go, hello.
No,
and it would either be a salesperson, your kids needed a ride somewhere, or bailed out of jail.
It was in jail.
In
jail, exactly.
In my family, when the phone rang, it was bad news. Like, oh, the phone's ringing. Someone died. It was always like bad news.
Yeah.
Don't answer that.
I'm surprised Sebastian Maniscalco hasn't done a bit about it.
Oh,
you know what I mean? No, I'm saying he has that doorbell. Where in the 70s, if someone rang your doorbell, it's a good bet, because if somebody rang your doorbell in the 70s, the family was excited. Somebody was coming over, you had cake ready. And now if someone rings your doorbell, everybody's hiding. And who the fuck is that? And you're scared.
Sure.
But it was in the day, you liked neighbors coming over. It was like, oh, the neighbors are here. And there was always cake and coffee ready.
Would you ever hesitate going up to a door, knocking on it, ringing the bell ever when you were growing up?
Yes. Yes.
You would hesitate?
Well, I don't care for small talk with people. So, yeah, I would hesitate.
No, I'm just talking about just going, oh, let me, you could go up and knock. You go, excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the site? You could ask directions. You could not, I'm not talking about 1849.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what,
say, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the bit. That's kind of the bit. I mean, it's just the idea of now it's different than, it's one that's every bit, now is different than in the past, Hey, guess who I saw
we used to walk
night?
down the we used to walk down the street and chicks would
interrupter. What?
How many stories do you need back to back?
I'm trying to tell you.
You're a stage hog.
This will include you, sir. This includes you.
Well, then
I was going to say, I was in Port Charlotte last night, and who did I see? Who did I see at my show?
Some guy named Tom from Rhode Island.
No, Tom was not there, because I don't think I advertised this show very well. But Deborah Swick.
So you didn't sell out.
Deborah Swick was there. Yes. Deborah.
This is going to sound strange, out of context, but Deborah Swick was one of the first supporters of the Two Dicks.
That's true.
She was on board.
She might have been the first. She might have been the first, actually.
Patreon, also the YouTube, and then I remember she came to the show in person, and we sold Two Dicks t-shirt. She sported it at home, sent us a picture. She's awesome.
No,
where was she?
Her husband Terry, and I think his brother and her and his wife, so her sister-in-law, they came out. I go, how come we haven't seen you in a while? You're not on. She took herself off Facebook, basically. She said she was in self-imposed exile, but she's had enough of all the bullshit, which I agree with. I don't think I'd be on it either, but I didn't have to promote this thing and whatever.
Well, we're entertainers, and we use it as a tool and for exposure, whereas other people are fighting. It's dividing families and friends. Like never before. So,
but great to see
like
her.
Zuckerberg.
She sends you her very best, of course. And then we were talking, and this is Deborah Swick. Here's Deborah Swick in a nutshell. She goes, what's coming up? Anything happening? And I told her, she's way behind. She hasn't seen the pod in I don't know. She's like, I like 70 pods to catch up with. I got to watch them. I go, we did one in person last week. She was like, oh my God. So, she goes, what's coming up? I go, hey, we're going to be in Vegas in May. We're going to be at the Tropicana. She's like, oh my God, that's exciting. Great. Blah, blah, blah. Then I get in the car. I get a text from Swick. What's the dates in Vegas? Maybe we'll take a trip. You know what I mean?
Wow. That'd be great.
There you go. That's great. That's great. That's Deb in a nutshell right there. Like, oh, maybe we'll come, So
that'd be great. That'd be great to see you out there, Deb.
Yeah, but great to see her. She's very cool, her and Terry and their family. And it was one of those shows, too, where I was like, I hadn't really slept. And in my mind, I'm like, the hell am I doing? When you do your act and you're in the back of your head going, what am I doing right now? I don't even know what's next. Or I just done 3 shows on Holland America, all cut up, 3 30-minute shows.
How did that last one go? You were concerned about it.
I was concerned.
These people had seen you twice. and they were
Yes.
coming back for a third time. Did you charm them?
I was concerned, and they were great. They were great, and it went great. And I got not lucky because you're using what you have. But after about 10 minutes, going good, and I'm like, I need it to get like that next level. But the material, it's because this is the B material now. You know, I mean, I've shot 2 shows. They're getting the B minus.
Your wad.
So I'm working it extra hard. But then there's this young guy and his girlfriend up front. And there's nobody young on this ship. I mean, this guy's like in his 30s. Everybody else is right.
So we have a target. Stay on target. Stay on target. Young couple by 30 years, and then everyone else.
Exactly. And
are you fucking? You guys fucking? Because no one else is on this ship.
You can't say fucking. No F bombs on the adult shows on Holland. Adult. No F bomb. But he's from England, which is, this is fantastic. He looks like Oliver from the movie. So I'm, playing that crazy shit up. And I go, what do you do? And he goes, oh, I work at a brokerage. And I go, brokerage? Oh, like investment. You're an investment guy. He goes, no. And his girlfriend's laughing hysterically at that idea that he's an investment. I'm like, brokerage? Like a brokerage house? He goes, no, brokerage. And I don't, and then I go, what? And his girlfriend goes, funeral home. So he's an undertaker.
They call it a brokerage?
They call it a brokerage, and he's an undertaker.
I had no idea.
I didn't either. This is my whole thing. And then
you're a big Beatles guy and big into the whole Britain thing.
Never heard it. Never once ever heard brokerage as any kind of undertaker, funeral home. So then people are chuckling a little, and then I go, oh, so you took the cruise to scope out new clients, I imagine. And there's your next level.
Next level.
And
you fucking rode that one.
Yeah, the old they were loving it. The crowd, it's great when old people get it. Like, hey, it's true. We're old. We're gonna fucking die soon. So,
well, they're saying that they're like, let's enjoy life. We got like 10 years left. Let's go.
yeah. And so it went great, and that was a lot of fun. And then got off in Fort Lauderdale, like I said, did the show last night, home, and now I'm in the study, just kicking back, potting it with you, and
potting it with me. And you.
Well, you sit in Nassau,
right? You were sailing with a comedian acquaintance of ours, Jim David.
Jim David's doing 3 weeks. And so he has one more cruise. These are 11-day and 10-day cruises. And some people, these old people, they don't go home. I met couples they were on. We've been on for 21 days. We're staying on another 11. Yeah. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. The thing, they don't tell you things. I mean, at least Holland America was very helpful with things, except the show was at 9:15. So when I just 9:15 show, I get backstage 9:14. I don't need to be sitting, and there's no reason. So anyway, the cruise director goes, oh, thanks for joining us. And I go, yeah, well, I'm here. Why wouldn't I be? And then she goes, well, we like you here 15 minutes early. I go, oh, well, no one told me that. She goes, oh, they didn't? I go, no. So she's like, oh, well, we do. And then I go, okay. So the next show, 9:15, I was there at 9 o'clock. If you tell me it, but if you don't tell me anything, it's like, you got to just tell us things.
When did you come in? 5 minutes early?
When did I come in backstage, you mean?
Yeah.
Like 2 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, 2 minutes. That's cutting it close, buddy. Because they start worrying.
Close to what?
But I agree with you. You're on a cruise ship. You don't have to be there 15 minutes earlier. As a matter of fact, no. I've been in a situation. They go, hey, man, we called your cabin. I go, I was watching the Singers.
Yeah.
You had a band on. I was watching them, and I got to go on after them. So I was watching them, and I was right over here by the stage door. Well, we didn't know that. I'm like, what's the deal? Why? So next show, I get there 15 minutes early. Nobody's there.
Yeah, of course.
They all come in. They all come in 3 to 4 minutes before the show starts.
But
and they go, I was running around. I had the dating game show and bingo. I'm like, well, I'm on the ship. Where am I going?
Yeah, but otherwise, this ship I don't know if you worked Holland or not, but they're a beautiful ship and they're very very helpful. I mean, like the people like, I'll give you a tour of the ship. I go, I don't need a tour. You can just show me where the showroom is, where my cabin is, where the coffee place is. That's all I really need. And they did that, but they're really, because a lot of times you get on a ship and you're kind of like on your own. It's like, here's a key. Go find your place. Go find the showroom. But they were very good about everything. And I had a good time. I had a good time with the whole thing. And one
you ever
weird
get the questionnaire?
Go ahead.
One weird thing.
Go ahead.
I want to hear the weird thing now.
Well, we were in we were in Curacao, or it doesn't matter. But anyway, I get a cappuccino, and then I figure I'll walk out in Curacao, walk around, and as I got off the ship, they're like, you can't take the coffee with you. I go, why? He goes, it's not our rule. It's Curacao. I go, I can't walk outside with a cup of coffee. He's like, no. Have you ever heard that or seen that before?
Yeah, you're not supposed to take food or beverages, especially fruit in some of the islands, because you could introduce.
This wasn't fruit.
Fruit flies. I know.
A cappuccino.
They don't want you taking anything.
But I've never had that before.
You're one of those guys. You're one of those guys that I don't
I'm not
like
one of those guys.
when you do this. When the ship says the local authorities doesn't want anybody to take, and you go, why? Why is that?
Oh, do I? I got a question.
American. I'm in another country. These people got to learn how to fucking. Yeah, you're one of those guys. You question authority on every.
Yes.
If the security guy saes the local authorities will not allow you to wear.
That's
or take something.
No, but I wanted that answer.
They have a garbage can. They go throw it in there. But you're not. You're going. Why?
No.
I want to know why.
No, I said why when he said you can't take that off the ship. I said why. Then he said it's not our rule. It's Curaçao's rule. And I said okay. And I went back inside and finished it. So wrong, sir. I didn't question him why. I just questioned what you just go. What do you mean? Why? I've walked off a ship with coffee before, so I wanted to know why. And he said, that's not our rule. Okay. It's Curacao. I said, okay. And
if that is the order of which things you did it in, then I apologize. But the way you said it before, it sounded like you flipped it.
No.
Like you had your cup and he said, you can't take it out of the ship. And you went, why? I'm an American, motherfucker.
No. And I'm not 80 years old with us having suffered a stroke. I don't know what the fuck. Your mouth was all crooked and weird. And
I know it is. No. I'm in a weird way, man. I'm in my third cabin. I have unpacked and packed 3 times.
So you've done 3 beds.
I had issues. I've done the 3 beds.
There you go.
It all comes around, man.
We got a title of the show. 3
no,
beds.
I didn't do the 3 beds. I didn't do it all in one day. This
still
I did it over the course 5 days. 3 different cabins. Full balcony cabin. And I thought I was going to stay there for 3 weeks. And then they give the old, hey, heave ho, move. We're going to move you to another cabin. We sold your cabin. You know what they do? When the passengers, the day before or 2 days before the passengers come on the ship, you send them an email and say, for $199, you can upgrade to a balcony. So they basically took my cabin and they put it on sale to the highest bidder, basically.
Yeah.
And then
for
they
an extra $50, you can sleep with Al Ducharme. We'll leave him in there, and you get to have him in the rack with you. And they went, "That's fine. We'll just go $199, but get his ass out of there." So
that's called the hot rack special, by the way.
Oh,
hot rack with somebody.
Yeah.
So anyways,
this is your third.
This is my third cabin. Again, unpacking is relatively easy. It's the packing. And then moving, and then they say you can't move it in that cabin until it's ready, and then your luggage.
Oh, it's a hassle.
You got to go through immigration because it's called turnaround day with the ship.
It's
ends,
a lot.
The cruise ends, and they have to bring on the new passengers, and you're caught in this middle ground
vortex.
Somewhere, and everybody has a different story. You got to go here first.
Right.
It's like being at the DMV. No, you got to get in that line first. It's all that. Nobody's on the same page. It's a vortex.
Well, I always say though, we know more because we've done this. I always feel like I know more than they do, and they're the ones telling me at 8 o'clock be here, and I'm like, I just go okay, but I'm thinking I don't have to be there at 8 o'clock. The guy's not going to be there till 8:30. no one, I don't have to bring my luggage. I don't have to do this, but I know it. I've done this. They don't know it. They just get a piece of paper and send it to you, forward it to you. They don't know. So, you know, you can follow it. But anyway, you're back in Tampa Saturday. This will air Monday, but I will be seeing you again in person, I believe. Is that correct?
I had to threaten you. I had to threaten you to cater to me because
you're not my first choice. You're not my first choice. But, you know.
I understand that.
I mean, I just saw you. For God's sake.
No, he's got a pretty new girlfriend, so I get all that. Why would you want to hang out with me?
No, but it's going to work out.
You just went to Napa with her. You get to hang out whenever you want. She lives 10 minutes away in a better neighborhood, so I get it. You know.
Ouch. But I don't know if it's better.
Wow. Yeah.
Different. I'm near the airport. She's near the beach. So yeah, that's probably better.
Right. That's better.
But if you travel, the airport being close is pretty good.
That's better.
You know what I mean? So
all right. So it's a nice balance. You have to cross the bridge to get to her, right?
I have to cross the bridge. I do. And then I said to her, Al is going to be in town, but she was like, go see Al. Just go see Al. And when you're done, you know, then come down here because her family's going to be in town. We're going to go out and have a couple of cocktails. Although I was supposed to leave Monday of next week for another Holland ship, and now I'm leaving Sunday, which is a little bit of a bummer. You know what I mean? They got an overnight. Overnight in
you didn't have to. You didn't have
Costa Rica.
You didn't have to overnight last time, and that was weird.
That was a long
day. They don't
require
you when you go to countries.
But this is Costa Rica, which I'm sure you've
that's
flown
a
into.
3-hour ride from the airport to the ship. It's about.
Is it really?
With no traffic.
Is it really?
I think so.
Holy shit! I didn't know that. I didn't hear that. I didn't get any details on that. I just have, but I'm landing it like 2:30. Maybe the ship's leaving late. Oh, that's a long one, huh?
You're gonna get robbed.
I'm gonna what? Get robbed? Why?
It might be 2 hours now because they put in a new highway. But in the old days, it was 3.5 hours if you had a logging truck in front of you. It was one lane, 2 lanes.
This is.
But you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So it's my birthday, and I told you. You said when are you going to be in Tampa again? I said
63.
February 67.
Oh, 67. You look good. You look good.
Yeah. No, I've had some work.
For 67. Yeah. No, I didn't know it was your birthday. So I gotta fucking hang out with you on your birthday.
It's only for a few hours. It's not like the whole day and night. It's
I know. No, I'm happy.
You're planning on an hour, but I'm going to stretch it.
No, I want to go.
You're going to take me to the King again, Burger King.
No, we're gonna have a little lunch, and then I want to show you Grand Cathedral. Grand Cathedral.
You're all about the cigars, and I'm all about the lunch. I want a nice lunch. I don't
listen, lady. Yeah, this motherfucker wants to go to Cheesecake Factory, and
that's what I said. I said it's my fucking birthday, motherfucker.
God damn.
Don't be an asshole. You taking me out for my birthday.
taking you out.
Right. Calm down, Sally.
Yeah, I thought we'd go and smoke a cigar like gentlemen, but no, you got a little lunch.
They said you're so addicted to the cigars. He's like, do you want to get our cigar first and then lunch? Or do you want to have lunch and then get the cigar? I like you like it before.
Yeah, well, I don't care. Yeah, you froze up a little bit, but the Wi-Fi crapped the bed a little there, so I didn't hear what you said, to be honest. I like it before. I don't care. Lunch or cigars, is that the order you're saying?
Yeah, I'd like to do lunch, get it out of the way, and then enjoy a nice relaxing cigar before you dump my ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just gotta work, time-wise. But it should work. But I wanted to show you Grand Cathedral. I don't think you've been there, and it's a pretty impressive cigar joint in Ybor City. People bought an old church and a beautiful humidor, and then they have a nice outdoor patio area. It is inside, but they have a nice outdoor patio area. to have your stick. They have a full bar. It's pretty sweet.
And that's 5
Sweet
minutes
place.
from the ship, right?
Yeah, 5-10 minutes.
10?
Close. It's close.
Okay. Do you have a place to eat? Because I already have a place picked out to eat. I just ate there the other day. I enjoyed it immensely.
Barbie's Dream House. Is that where you want to go, or what is that?
Well, you've
American
been
Dolls.
there.
I don't know where you. I don't know what. Place you
Jackson's
want.
Bistro, right
Doll
there
Factory.
on the channel.
Jackson's Bistro.
It's like it's like
Okay.
less than a half mile from the ship, like quarter mile.
Okay.
And I ate there. It's right on the water. It's nice. Little
Oh.
little joggers, little reindeer running by.
Yeah. Oh.
And it's nice.
Okay. Very
And
nice.
the nice, good drinks. Very expensive, so you better bring your wallet.
Yeah. Why wouldn't I have my wallet? Hey, that's my driver's license. People say that. Doesn't make any sense. You better bring your wallet. Yeah, we always have your wallet. You mean you better bring money? Yeah,
I'm doing the little wallet in the front pocket now, the little flat wallet, because everything is.
I don't care for
You
that
don't
at
care for
all.
that?
No. What do you have? Rubber bands around it?
It's just a little. It's got like a couple little pockets in it. It's the size of a little bigger than a credit card. I put a couple of Ben Franklins in there, and credit card and license. Boom. No more big bulk.
I got the George
Take you back.
Costanza. I got the Costanza, the filing cabinet.
I've had one of those for years. I still have it, but I keep it in my backpack, or I put it in the safe in the room. And for years, I would have it right in that back pocket. There was an indent on my ass.
Yeah.
And
I like an indent.
I had backaches. Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
That's what Jim David said.
What? I don't even know what that means.
Yes, you do. You pretend you don't know what it means.
I don't know.
We get a phone call. You outed me. You outed me on your podcast.
No. He's if anybody's out, it's old Jim. He is out.
Yeah, Jimmy's out.
He's
Jimmy's
out. The first words out of his mouth on stage, I am fucking gay and deal with it. And he was killing, I'll be honest with you. He's one of those guys. He's been around a while and knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And you go that. So the first he went on at 9. I went on 9:30 the first night. I'm thinking that's like a tough room. It's old people. Well, and then he just walked out and started murdering, and I'm like, holy shit. This is one of those, you better pick up your game weeks. This isn't just some, working with some guy and, you're going to be the fucking star. This was like, okay, all right, bring it.
He's 30 plus year vet. Yeah. He's been in all kinds of rooms and situations, and he's got a lot of stage experience. Yeah.
And we had some cocktails after the show. And that's another thing, 50% off your drinks on Holland America. That's pretty good, sir. You know what I mean? That's not bad.
I know.
50%.
I'm only we used to get 50% off a celebrity. Now it's 20 because they switched the management with Royal, because Royal was 20.
50%.
And they raised the gratuity to 18%. So you're really getting a 2% discount.
Yeah. Yeah. So
we used to get 50% off with a 15% gratuity added automatically. And that was perfectly fine. That was great. For some reason, they had to make even more of a profit on us.
I remember when I started, when they
profit on us is not enough.
I remember when they started.
1,000%.
I remember when we started, and there were entertainer tables, and everybody would buy bottles of wine. It was 50% off, and we'd have multiple bottles of wine on the table. All the entertainers would have dinner and get sloshed, and then I would have a cigar afterwards with at that time, remember the two funny guys, Mario and Danielle?
They're still around.
They were big cigar guys. I used to hang out with them, and David Moss, who passed away during COVID, the magician, David Moss. He was a big cigar guy, and Kelly Monteith, who's recovering from a stroke.
Yes.
Oh my God, the entertainers are dropping. I'm telling you. Yeah, Kelly loved a good cigar. Yeah, and Kelly. And if you haven't heard of Kelly Monteith, check out his YouTube channel, because he had a TV show in England, and Paul Bolin, and he brought it back, and Kelly talks about each episode. And they show the episode, and they're very funny, really good stuff. Does that break in the third or fourth wall, whatever it's called, and talking to the audience during scenes, and it's really good stuff. But yeah, Kelly enjoyed, and he would have these great stories because he did the Tonight Show with Carson. He did that like 30 times. So he could, he would tell you these things. And I used to go, how come you don't mention or show clips before you go on? You were on the Tonight Show 30 times. He's like, yeah, from 1974. You know what I mean? He goes, it looks too fucking dated. I can't have that. I can't have Carson. I'm like, I don't know. If I was on with Carson 30
I don't know.
times,
I think at this point,
I'd be showing
at his
it.
age, I'd be
showing
jumping
it.
like, this is my 40, 50 year career I had.
Yeah.
There it is,
No,
it's probably more like 50 years. Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, he just thought it made him look, older. But I was like, I think it makes you look like accomplished. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yes.
You're sitting with Johnny.
On the contrary.
He was at the point he didn't have to do stand-up. He was coming out and doing panel, just sitting there and joking around with Carson. I mean, it's pretty phenomenal. But they're available on YouTube. Check them out, Kelly Monteith. And but those were fun days, man, when you'd had, those kind of entertainers. And now it's good still, but it's different. It's a little different thing at this point. You don't always know the entertainers, or they're not as accomplished. They're more just like peers of ours, where you're not having a guy who, you watched on TV as a kid or something,
Well, there was only a couple of talk shows for a long period of time, then it was, then there's a million talk shows. Cable took off, and then it went long format. Even with Conan show last season, they started doing 4 days a week, half-hour shows, and no audience because of COVID. And now that's off. It just changed, and everything is immediate now, and everything is short. Everything is TikTok, and it's like we don't have time for long.
I don't know why I see. I thought you were getting like jazz or something. I didn't know what the snapping was about. Like, yeah, man, dig it, baby.
Did you see that movie, All That Jazz, with Roy Scheider?
Of course, it's great. Fosse,
Bob Fosse. It's
a
great movie, man.
Scheider was so good. I thought he really was having a heart attack. I thought he really, because he was rail thin. He was chain smoking, dancing. I thought when he has the heart attack, I think he's having a heart attack. Like, that was some real fucking great acting. Roy Scheider.
And the way it was filmed, it's a tremendous movie. I guarantee you'll be pulled in if you start watching.
Yeah, if you think it's like one of those, I don't want to watch a movie about a choreographer or something. No, watch this movie.
It's much deeper than that. Yeah. It's a nice piece of film making all around.
Oh, it's awesome. Fosse was great. Lenny. He did Lenny, he got Dustin Hoffman as Lenny Bruce. I mean, they're not making movies like that anymore. You would maybe get that on like Amazon now, or maybe on Netflix, but a theatrical black and white film about Lenny Bruce. I mean, nobody's putting up the money for that.
Not the happiest movie. Not the happiest movie.
Not the happiest life.
Dark.
He was, the whole thing was dark. I mean, Lenny Bruce's life. I mean, but if he only had lived another few years, all that shit would have been past, the cops busting him and all that. And he would have been a guy, he would have became an old guy like Carlin or somebody, where you could have, seen a million appearances. Nowadays, unless you buy a couple albums.
He was a trailblazer for, freedom of speech and whatnot, and for comedians. And many people,
it doesn't hold. I tried to listen to some of that. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those guys you respect.
It doesn't hold,
but it doesn't hold.
Yes, no, it doesn't hold up. But they had cops waiting for him, watching his show, and he was doing like a freestyle thing, just talking to the crowd in politics. And as soon as he crossed the line, the cops would just arrest him on stage.
But up to then, it was all, take my mother, please, and take my wife, please, and mother-in-law jokes.
It changed the direction of stand-up comedy.
Yeah, and then he goes up and he's doing talking about religion and politics and sex. and crowd work, which no one had seen. This is like, what the hell is this guy doing? But then the word got out. He's also, he would say fuck. And, you get
F-bomb on stage. You weren't allowed.
Yeah.
I mean, can you that whatever it was 50 years ago, 50 some odd, maybe 60 years ago, in this United States, in a private club or a club, a nightclub, everybody's drinking, probably heroin, whatever they're doing. And then you say the F-bomb and you get arrested.
Well, I mean, this is the same.
Is freedom of speech.
Yeah, but this is the same country that has separate water fountains for black and white or what. I mean, this, around the same time. So
that's coming
different
back.
world.
I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why.
It's about time. It's about time.
Hey,
well, speaking of which, look at the NFL right now.
All kinds of different directions. Now, I just want to go off and all these different directions about what people are doing, what they're doing.
But
Let's go to the vaccine.
Look at the NFL right now. They're being sued. Brian Flores saying, hey, that was a sham. I'm black guy. They already knew who they were hiring. Bill Belichick sends him a text saying, congratulations. He's got the that was before the interview. And Belichick was making a mistake. He thought he was sending it to Brian Dable.
Wrong Brian.
Right, but
now it's a racist situation because they're telling him that he was going in for the interview when they already settled on somebody.
Well, you got to do the Rooney Rule. And you got to interview
I believe that
coaches.
racism is behind it, but I got to find out more about it because I've been in situations. I've been in situations where I was going in for an audition and it was already cast, white guy to white guy. So I do know that happens.
Yeah,
it's happened to me more than once.
Right.
I know there is color behind it. I want to find out more about the story.
Well, you're not going to.
Because why not?
They're not giving you the information. This is all going to be settled. This is going to be a settlement.
Let me change the subject.
It's going to be a settlement, and that's going to be the end of Brian Flores. He'll go away with $100 million, and that's it.
Was he good for the Miami Dolphins?
He was, dude. They won. They had a winning seasons the last 2 years, and he beat Belichick 4 times, and he gets fired.
Yes, and he was on Belichick's team. I mean, he was on the Patriots for 15
They had
seasons.
winning seasons, but the owner was offering him $100,000 a game to tank.
He bribed him. Mm-hmm.
He wanted Joe Burrow. That was the thing. If they had the worst record, they would have got Joe Burrow instead of the Bengals getting him. And now Joe Burrow's in the Super Bowl. And the Miami Dolphins picked number 5 and got Tua, who, let's be honest, stinks. So
do you think that bribe stuff happens all the time? Bonus stuff will give you money. I know what the Saints, they were putting targets on players saying if you injure them and they're out a game or more, you get a bonus. You remember that?
Bounty Gate, it was called. Yeah,
Bounty Gate. That's what it was called. I mean, that shit does happen, and I think
it happens way more than we'll ever know. But yes, I do believe that these are billionaires. These owners, billionaires. With a B, billions with a B. Callback, and they want to lose games to move up in that draft, and they're paying these coaches. They'll pay them. Hey, they don't care. What does 5 wins do for him, this billionaire owner? He doesn't want 5 wins. He doesn't give a shit. But if I have 0 wins, I get the number 1 pick.
Mentioning it in public.
Yeah. So I lost you there, Alfred. You froze up on me, buddy. I don't know what
it's going to happen from time to time. We'll get through it. How are we doing on time?
We'll get through it. I guess I think we're right in there. I think it's time to fold it up and call it a day and move on. And
I wanted to ask you a question about the vaccine.
Yes, sir.
Of the transplant recipient. In order to qualify, you have to get vaccinated, and he does not want to get the vaccination.
Who?
And he'll take an organ from a dead person, a drunk person, from an auto wreck, drunk driving. He'll take their organ and put it in his body.
Hey,
and he won't take the vaccine before the procedure. What do you think about that?
Who are we talking about?
Some guy, an organ, whatever organ is failing, and he's due up for an organ transplant.
Oh, but he doesn't have the vaccine.
And he said, we can't give you the transplant unless you have the vaccine. That's part of it. And he's like,
Okay.
I'm not getting that vaccine put in my body, but I'll take
Okay.
that dead drunk guy's liver. I'll take that.
No, can't give it to you, pal. Sorry. No.
So he says,
Can't
I'd
give-
rather die than take the vaccine. They're like,
Okay. I'm good with that. I don't want to
Next.
tell anyone. I don't tell
no,
anyone
wait,
what
I changed
to
my mind. It's too
do.
late, sir.
I don't tell anyone what to do, but if that's your choice, you don't want the vaccine, that's fine. Very good. But you also don't get the benefits then of other shit.
He wants
No, you don't.
the benefits without getting the vaccine. What I'm saying, but even the fact that he'll go through this procedure, open him up and stick a foreign liver in his body, I'll go along with that, but I'm not going to get that injection.
Right. It's no sense. None
Because
of it makes sense.
they said it will increase his survival if he gets the vaccine. Because,
Right.
well, whatever. I'm not an expert. I'm no Joe Rogan. I'll tell you that.
I am. I'm an expert.
We
And I'm
talk
telling you.
about the Joe Rogan experience.
Next week, we'll do it when we have better Wi-Fi. I'll put it in my notes.
All right.
The Wi-Fi
Are
is
you
getting,
putting me? Are you putting me down? Because of my
it's getting a little
connection?
wonky. The Wi-Fi is going to the brokerage right now. And it's getting a little wonky here at the end. So
All right. Well, if you're a listener on, podcast platforms, thanks for listening. And if you're a supporter on Patreon for the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast, you get to see this wonky video. $5 a month. Woohoo, motherfucker.
Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The Two Dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary.
Patreon.com/The Two Dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money.
Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.